All right, let's take a look at possibly my favorite port finish wine I've had. And I know you're
port finished wine?
Wine finished wine?
Yes, sir. Port finished bourbon, okay? Shut the fuck up, I'm still tired, okay?
Excuses. Yeah, this is also not including Thomas S. Moore port finish.
Yes, because I haven't had it. I can't include it.
That being said, let's dive in. The nose, sweet red fruit, cherry.
Port.
Yeah.
Port.
All the port notes are here. It literally smells like a port more than a whiskey.
Sweet red cherry, red berries, so like raspberry, blackberry, strawberry.
And knowing how present the nose is on the Bowman small batch, you get absolutely none of it in this.
I get a little bit of pepper.
I can see it.
I get a little bit of
A
pepper.
little bit of red pepper. Yeah. It's distinctly red pepper, just like it is in the small batch.
But that being said, if I could say this nose in one word, it would be red.
Yes. Now keep in mind too, for everyone watching.
All 6 of you.
No, one. That's why emphasis on the one. Smooth brain. This is a Buffalo Trace distillate, so keep that in mind too. This is match bill number 1, redistilled and then aged in Virginia. So it's the distillate. It's not like they aged it and sourced it.
And I want to say this is probably like 2 years younger than the standard Buffalo Trace. Buffalo Trace.
1 to 2. It's like I want to say it's between a 4 and a 6 year versus Buffalo Trace being a 6 to 7 year.
Yeah, I would agree.
At
with
the
that.
most, it's probably a year younger than Buffalo Trace.
I would agree with that.
But again, the fact that it's all done in Virginia, that changes things.
Yeah. Very red nose, very fruity, very sweet.
And it's a decently red whiskey too.
Yeah, that's a solid. I would say it's a solid amber.
It's an amber, yeah.
Like this is straight up an amber whiskey.
Considering the proof, it's darker than a lot of the other whiskeys we've had.
Oh yeah, no. It's what, 90 proof,
90.
95,
90.
90,
92.
92.
92. That's the other thing too, is that usually the Buffalo Trace distillate stuff is 90.
Yeah.
I know the small batch is 90, so it's interesting that this is actually 2 proof points higher.
But yeah, it's at the sweet spot of bourbon. Like bourbon's sweet spot for like lower grade. I don't want to say lower grade, but like lower price products is between 90 and 100.
Mm-hmm.
This is priced well in range.
Because this is, if you can find it, you can't find it in PA, but in New York it's about $35.
Yeah, New York is 35. Other places you can find it between 40 and 50.
And I can see it being priced in that point.
Yeah.
35 is, in my opinion, a steal for this.
I would
for
agree
a port
with that.
finished wine. Comparing it to Angel's Envy, and the fact that Angel's Envy is more expensive. Yeah.
Without a doubt, because this tastes way better. Like, holy shit. There's so much more fruit and sweet and caramel on the front of this.
I still get a little bit of that signature bite. It's a little.
Oh no, there for sure.
You get a little. Still get a little bit of that Buffalo Trace cherry. It's still there a little bit, and you get that pepper all the way through. You don't get it in the finish, but you get it in all the way through the palate up till then.
Everything from Bowman Brothers has a distinct black pepper flavor. This definitely has it. And in a lot of ways, I think that makes this better than Angel's Envy, because Angel's Envy is very, very... It's very bland.
It's light.
It's very light. It's very bland. This accentuates...
All you need is a tiny bit of spice in with this kind of a sweet, especially a port finish whiskey, to add so much complexity to it.
Yeah, so if I could describe the palate on this, when you first taste it, it's like 80% fruit and caramel and brown sugar sweetness, 20% pepper. Towards the mid palate, it splits to 50-50 between pepper and those sweet notes. And then the finish is like cinnamon spice and a little bit of berry.
Yes. But even like all throughout, there's a sweetness to it.
Yes.
It never goes away. It transitions what kind of sweetness. It's definitely a fruitier sweetness at the start and more of a bourbon-y kind of sweetness in the finish. But it's sweet the whole way through. Not overbearingly either. And not like Angel's Envy where it's sweet and has nothing else, no body to back it up.
Correct. Like this has a decent body. I would say this is This is between, I would say, if like you were to go on a scale of like 1 to 8, this is a 3 out of 8.
Interesting that you pick out an 8, but
for some reason I was thinking in quarters, but quarters didn't do it, so I like cut them in half.
fair enough.
I'm an engineer nerd. This is how my brain works. It's fucked up, I know, and I'm not going to argue that it's fucked up. But 3 out of 8. Bought it.
$35. I would buy this every day of the week. This would be my daily sipper for a fruity sweet whiskey.
Without a doubt.
Keep in mind, so let's compare this to something we tried tonight, the Bowman. They're both a fruity, kind of sweeter bourbon. This has so much more complexity to it. It has so much more body.
This whiskey by itself could put Bowman out of business.
100%. And if Bowman made this, I'd buy Bowman in a fucking heartbeat.
Yeah. Like, this... I can't say that it's a true bourbon.
Because, again,
it's missing
port
a lot
finish, everyone's going to get mad if you call it.
Not even that. It's missing a lot of the bourbon notes aside from the brown sugar and pepper.
That's true. The port has a very strong influence on this.
It does.
You can tell that at least, granted, given its age of probably 5 to 6 years at most, you could tell about a year of that was port.
Yes.
And it has a drastic influence on it.
But that being said, for the price, this is the best barrel, wine finished whiskey on the market.
100%.
For $35, I say that my favorite is
the
Glenmorangie La Quinta Reuben, 14-year. But this competes with it.
And that's also double the price. So when you put price into mind, that's...
a little bit less than double, but yes.
Yes.
This compares to it. The only issue that Isaac Bowman has is that it is not even relevant in Pennsylvania. You have to go outside of the state to find this.
And that sucks because I wish Pennsylvania could experience this the way that we're trying this now, because this would be a hit here.
It really would.
It's a hit everywhere that sells it. There's a reason. I've never seen anyone say anything bad about Bowman anywhere.
No, there's not a thing.
Even the regular small batch, I've never seen anyone say anything bad. People have been like, yeah, it's all right, but it's also $35. So yeah, it's all right. Is a pretty normal, expected answer.
The only thing I'd say about the standard Bowman is that I prefer standard Buffalo Trace to it because it's a little less peppery.
Right, and I was gonna say that's the only thing. I like the pepper notes. That's why I like Bowman.
Exactly.
More than
So
Buffalo
for
Trace.
you, it's even better than Buffalo Trace because it's available. It has It has more intricacy to it.
It's a hidden gem because it's coming from a quality place. Even if I don't subscribe to the hype of a lot of their products,
Right.
Their products have quality to it, and they do their own spin on it that has the particular thing that I wish the regular Buffalo Trace had.
Right.
I wish it had a little bit more of the spice because it's
Yeah.
it's only 10 to 12% rye.
Right.
And so you don't get a lot of rye spice from it, but the pepper notes that you get from this sort of make up for that. And the fact that you get a little bit of it through this port wine finish tells you a lot about, one, Bowman's product in general. 2, it makes me want to try the fucking single barrel.
Right.
And 3, makes me love this over the Buffalo Trace distillate stuff, for the most part.
Oh no! If I had to choose between Isaac Bowman and Buffalo Trace, I would choose Isaac Bowman every day of the week.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason
Interesting comparison, but yes, I agree.
I mean, personally for me, if I had to choose between
Right.
Bowman Brothers and Buffalo Trace, I would take Buffalo Trace. If I had to choose between Buffalo Trace and Isaac Bowman, I would take Isaac Bowman.
Right. And I was going to say, we can't compare to a Buffalo Trace port finish because they don't have a port finish.
Yeah, the closest.
If they had a port finish, I think I would pick this.
The closest you can get is Thomas S. Moore port finish.
And that's a 1792.
That's 1792, which is only under the same. It's under the same
it's Buffalo Trace in the
family?
sense that Sazerac owns them, but they
Yes.
do their own thing.
Yes.
So it's Buffalo Trace. It's they're like a Buffalo Trace in-law.
Yes.
They're Buffalo Trace in the sense that, again, they share some relation, but that's about it.
So Bowman, if you're hearing this, please fight with.
Please
PA
tell the
500
PLCB
spirits.
that you want to sell your stuff here and that you'll sell more of it. Because I'll be the first one to buy a bottle of LaPorte if it shows up under $40 in PA.
You're also gonna probably sell the first 4 cases of it. Let's be real.
Let's be real. My store will be the top selling Isaac Bowman store in Pennsylvania, if not the state, if not the country, rather.
Probably, yeah. I would be hard pressed to find someone who would sell anything from Bowman better than you.
But at that store, I could sell anything.
Well, yeah, that's because your clientele are millionaires.
Yes, and once they realize I know my shit, they'll listen to whatever the fuck I say.
I mean, I told you the story that my dad's business partner was talking you up, and my dad was like, "Yeah, my son is like really, really good friends with that guy.
Yeah.
He knows what he's talking about."
Yeah. But anyway, Isaac Bowman, I need this.
Yes, come to PA.